So here we are. I got no idea how to start one of these things, obviously, but in fairness, I don't know how I'm going to end it either. The bit in the middle's a little bit hazy, but apparently the algo quite likes it when you put multimedia on a website. And a very good friend of mine told me that people quite like it when they can put a human face and a human voice and a sort of human picture on the person that's trying to sell them something. And yeah, as the sample layout of the stall suggests, I got a book to pimp. The irony is, this project didn't start as something that was about getting paid. It started as me proving to myself that, or at least asking myself the question, am I a writer or am I just someone who writes for hire? Ever since sometime in the early 90s, I started what is laughingly called my professional career as a TV writer. I've pretty much always been paid to do what I do, either writing a script for somebody else or writing a script for one of the productions that I was making as a director or as a producer. Everything I did was kind of for hire. It was for money. I wasn't a slut. I was a whore. Not an especially well-paid whore, but a whore nonetheless. And I kind of often ask myself, would I still feel the need to do this? Put my hands on the keyboard, type, put words on the page, create sentences, give characters voice. Would I still want to do that? Feel compelled to do it? Would I still find the time and the effort and the inspiration to do it if no one was picking up the tab? And and the first short story I wrote for this book, the Subversion anthology, the first story I wrote was an exercise in exactly that. It would have been, frankly, a better short film than it is a short story. It would have been visually stimulating, a sort of cyberpunk world, the opportunity to play in something really quite interesting and very character driven. And I can see the pictures for the film that we would have made had I written Lovers on a Train as a film, a short film. But that wasn't the point. The point when the idea popped into my head was to say, well, what happens if you don't get paid? What happens if you just write it for the sake of writing? The pigeons that fly around the pigeon loft, the horses that gallop around the fields just for the feeling of the earth beneath their feet. And having done it once, I did it again. And each story that I wrote, in a way, got me attuned to looking for other stories. And pretty soon I had what felt like the makings of a book. And best part of 5 years later, I'm about to go and sell that book down the hall in the first attempt at seeing if some stranger might walk past that stall in a small town hall in a small town in North Yorkshire and see that book and go, oh, that's interesting. Let me have a look at that. Even better, give me a tenner, take it away, and read the words. And all of a sudden, selling it seems quite important. Not because I'm ever going to make any money from selling this book, probably won't even break even, but because every single person that picks the book up and cracks the spine or clicks on it and flicks the page, every single person that does that will close the bracket that was opened when I started writing these words. So I'm working my ass off to pimp this book. As you can see, I've put together artwork and offerings. I've put together a website upon which this video will sit. I've done everything I possibly can to give this book a fighting chance, as affirmation that the words matter, and that thing that I thought maybe I am, a writer, is a reality, and that I'm not just somebody that gets hired to type. And oddly, having spent my whole life catching and releasing words, writing them down, putting them on the page, handing them off to producers and to directors and to clients, and never having had the time to live with them long enough to doubt them, I've always loved the things I do, the things that I write. I've always had absolute confidence in them. But I've had long enough with this book to now be picking up the copy that I bought off Kobo last week, to be picking up the physical copy, and to be reading those words that I've read, that I wrote and edited again and edited again, and I've worked on for so long, and to be looking at them and doubting every single one of them, and doubting myself. I got a mad case of the yips, and maybe this Saturday in the Pickering Memorial Hall, some of that will be appeased. Some of that some of those nerves, some of that discomfort will be satisfied by the kindness of strangers. Or maybe not. Or maybe not. Maybe I'll sit there for a day and people will walk past me and think, who the hell does he think he is? Or even worse, I've never heard of him. Or even worse, they'll pick it up, they'll look at it and they'll think, well, that looks like shit. We're going to see. And maybe we're going to go on that journey together. I'm going to post this video, and I'll post another one when it's done. And over the next couple of weeks, maybe I'll put together some more little videos of Easter eggs and behind the scenes, and a few stories behind the stories, and a few thoughts about this adventure that I'm going on, and hoping that you'll come along with me as we take this little book and we try and pimp it for all it's worth. It'll be interesting. It'll be interesting. It might be devastating. It might be a disaster, but it won't be for the want of trying. And it won't be boring, unlike this video. And that's the ending. I found it. We've done it. This is the first. It won't be the last. Thanks for watching.